moving.
Yeah, which takes some work. It's a real thing. There's nothing
it's a thing, yeah.
amorphous looking about this. It's not a light.
Sometimes you can play with the possibility of a lenticular cloud, a contrail, something, but this...
That ain't...
No, this looks like a thing of some kind.
Yes, we both agree this is a thing. This is a genuine, real thing. It is unidentified. It is, if not flying, floating. Now that's something. Boy, don't you want to just climb up there and check it out for yourself? Back in Brazil?
Yeah. Again,
I'm assuming...
a night light.
Yeah.
I guess it's the one...
Oh, it's moving.
Moving over there. Now, what is interesting is this is going even, underneath the buildings.
I thought it was going to disappear in back of it, but it's sure not, is it? Moving up again. Hold that camera steady.
Another one. Another one from Brazil. Yeah, that's the object itself.
It does seem to have some dimension and shape when we close in on it. Now, to the naked eye, that looks like an evening star or something, but as we close in on it, well, it's not Venus.
Now that, like that diaphragm kind of movement, you know, I think that is a camera
It certainly
distortion.
can be.
Yeah.
In this case, we don't know if it is or not, because even though that traditional double diamond shape can be associated with that particular type of lens illusion, there may be things that are that shape that, oh boy.
This is moving.
Somebody's really moving. Okay, again, it's important to remember that that is not a comet or a meteorite. The way that it's moving, it certainly seems to not be a helicopter or an airplane.
No, it's going very fast.
And it's going up as well as across, so once again, we've sort of divided, oh boy. Back in space we go.
Yeah, this is a very famous footage. It's only about one or two that we know of taken by Russian cosmonauts.
Yeah.
And this by Musa Manarov is the best known one from Russia, I believe.
Okay, I think we can immediately, being out in space here, dismiss the possibility that this is
space is
a rock.
Space is helpful because it takes, gets rid of balloons and a lot of things, that birds and so on. You're not going to find those in space. I think this is what you're seeing here is the docking. This must be taken from the Mir space station into the Salyut, probably. Or the Soyuz, or whatever they call, coming for docking. But that's something else.
It surely is, and obviously it has captured this cosmonaut's attention enough that he's focusing in on it.
He went public too. The statements of Musa Manarov are quite well known in Russia, and even outside Russia for those who follow them.
Do you remember offhand, Antonio, any of what he had to say in that statement?
Basically that he had seen an unidentified flying object that I don't remember exactly the text here, but
boy, look at that thing.
That it was something that he couldn't explain.
Yeah.
I think he even went. He went through his mind into, is it a booster?
That would be the first thought, and it is one of the things that's so impressive about his statement that was not. He did not quote party line, or just because it is cylindrical, say, it's a conventional booster part or something, which gives this sighting that we're seeing here some pretty impressive credentials.
Yeah, and also, I think it had to do also, there was a political window there. You see, in the old days, there are some pretty well-known, the Kovalyonok case, for instance, from 78 and from 81, but those were completely covered up at the time. Either some people knew them from rumor, and eventually, of course, they were published, but only after Glasnost. But in this incident, it happened in a moment that the Soviet Union was breaking up. There was a lot of openness. and Manoroff sighting and film became quite well known.
Well,
now we're back to the American space program.
Several hundred feet up over the Earth, view from the shuttle. What a view.
Beautiful view. I'm not sure what lakes those are, but we could find out if we investigate, I guess. And here you see a little object.
Now, immediately we have to discount satellites because of the movement of this object.
Right. Satellites are, look at that. Satellites they go in a very fixed trajectory.
That's something else. That's impressive.
It's surprising that some of these
saw the light of day.
So exactly, and well, no, I know why they saw the light of day, because these things are transmitted through NASA feeds, you know. But what it is surprising that some of them, like this one, it was never on CNN, nothing.
Well,
only the one, the STS-44, is very famous and made it to Larry King, to all the shows.
You bring up a terrific point,
but this is, extraordinary.
Which is generally that there is a news blackout on any material. Look at that. That is not a satellite. It seems to be hovering in the air. Again, we know that the shuttle is moving along at a good speed. Right. This thing may be moving along at a parallel speed.
Yes.
But, there's nothing natural about that. It seems to be an absolute sphere. Quite wonderful. But yes, we do have so little that gets through us, through our major media, and unfortunately the tabloid television shows and print media are the ones that traditionally handle this stuff because it's good ratings, it sells papers.
Right.
But there is that built-in demeaning factor that it's not in the New York Times, and
which varies in other countries. Now we're back to Brazil, and in Brazil and in Mexico, as we will see soon, it seems to be almost the opposite. There's a lot of interest from the part of the media. And a lot of kind of public discussion. There's less stigma to the subject.
Yeah, well, it's much healthier. And as you know better than most people in our field, there are very dramatic UFO sightings in South America.
This is a very strange one. I don't know.
Never seen anything like this.
Well, I've seen it before.
Oh, you've seen this, yeah.
This particular, but I have no idea. Again, it's a very strange one. And
different lighting patterns. But there is essentially a news blackout on serious UFO sightings being covered in North America.
Now we go to the famous one taken during the eclipse. Again, this is a very famous video, and there are multiple videos. The reason is very simple. It was a total solar eclipse.
So a lot of people were out there with their cameras.
People were out with their cameras, and
well, that's a pretty articulated object, whatever it is.
One explanation is that it was, even though I know it looks like a craft, but it didn't really move. And so one explanation is that it was Venus, that because as the sky was getting darker, then because Venus was located in that part of the sky, though, and could have been taped by all these different people.
Well, I'll tell you, if that's Venus, that is the most remarkable series of distortions.
Well, because you're seeing Venus under completely not under normal circumstances.
Also true.
So it's